Visit creativelearningalliance.org/eclipse and join us.
CBS celebrates Black History Month.
Right now at 5, Oklahoma's governor signs a bill to eliminate the state's sales tax on groceries.
And it's another cold start to the day out there. It will be a little warmer today. We'll take a look at that forecast, get you out the door, coming up.
Plus, the story of a girl who survived the Joplin tornado as she gets ready to undertake the next chapter in her life as an adult.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning. Welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 5 a.m. I'm Elise Noe.
I'm Chris Warner. So we're welcoming Elise to the morning
Yes,
show. What is
thank
it
you.
like to be up this early?
Well, I'm clutching onto my coffee a little bit more than normal, and I might be doing that for the next few weeks or so, but
Yeah,
it wasn't
takes
too
about
bad.
a month or so to get used to that. Even all this time later, I'm still not 100% used to it. You know, it's tough to adjust to going to bed at like 6:30, 7 o'clock in the evening.
I know.
And we get into summertime and the sun stays out longer. It makes it even harder because it's still daylight out. There's people outside.
And daylight savings is just like in a week and a half too, so
Oh,
I
yeah.
couldn't have picked a better time to join you all, but I'm happy to be here.
Well, we're excited to have
Thank
you
you,
on the
Chris.
morning show. We decided to bring her in a few days early because I'm tired of talking, and I'm sure you folks at home are probably tired of listening to me talk for 3 hours straight.
You always do a great job, though, Chris.
It was turning into a radio show. It was a little bit strange. But what isn't strange, well, actually sometimes is strange, is our forecast. But today, not too bad. Let's take a quick look outside. This is our camera on top of the Cornell Complex in downtown Joplin. And we're looking pretty good out there. We still got a bit of a breeze, and we do have some red flag warnings in our far northern counties. And that's primarily, it's not going to be overly gusty today. We're talking gusts maybe 20, 25 miles an hour, but humidity levels through the day are going to be so low that really increases the fire danger, especially in those red flag warning areas. But again, across the region, it's going to be dry. So do be careful. Really, honestly, don't do any outdoor burning today. MoDOT camera 32nd and range line looking fantastic as well. Temperatures around the region, again, it's cold, little below average out there, low to mid 30s and some upper 30s with Neodesha checking in as the cold spot at 19. Kids getting on the bus this morning. We are looking at 28 degrees, mostly cloudy at South Breeze around 5 to 10. And when that bus brings them back home, still mostly cloudy, 53 though, so a little closer to normal. South Breeze 5 to 15, occasional gust to 20. And that's where our highs are headed, about average, low 50s out there. We're going to spend the majority of the day mostly cloudy. It won't be until much later this evening that we'll start to see an opportunity for a couple of stray showers here and there as humidity levels gradually increase. We're going to talk about that and even the potential for maybe a rain-snow mix in the full forecast here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, Chris, thanks. Well, shoppers in Oklahoma will pay no state grocery tax come August. KOAM's Amber Jenkins has more.
Oklahoma Governor Kevin Stitt signed a bill that will eliminate the state's portion of the grocery tax. The state's tax rate will decrease from 4.5% to 0%. The new tax cut would affect food that is taken home and prepared food. However, on-site meals don't qualify. This comes after a 5-year bipartisan effort to make groceries more affordable. Here at Hart's Food in Miami, Oklahoma, we're asking shoppers about their reactions to the grocery tax cut.
Oh, it's great. I love it.
It's not going to save me anything, but I think it's going to save my peers that work really hard. So I feel like it's going to be helpful for some people.
Well, it probably would, yeah. What do you think?
Some other shoppers are concerned about the potential repercussions from this cut. The cut will reduce the state's revenue by $418 million a year.
I'd like to see the money that's taken away from the grocery tax. Where is it going to be replaced? How will it be reimbursed?
It just depends on how they're going to try to get more money out of me some other way. That's kind of what I'm thinking. One way or another, they're going to get it. So I kind of got to read more about it.
But for those who are on fixed incomes,
every little bit counts.
Right,
especially if you're getting older and living alone and things.
Fixed income.
I think this is a good decision because people who aren't on fixed incomes don't watch their pennies as closely as those of us who do.
Right. Reporting in Miami, Amber Jenkins, KOAM News.
The cut will be effective in late August, 90 days after the session ends. Well, the city of Miami is now searching for a new city manager. Council members on Monday accepted current city manager Bo Reese's resignation. His last day will be March 23rd. The city is now partnering with the firm Strategic Government Resources to find his replacement. That nationwide search will cost the city nearly $28,000. Students in Kansas School District USD 246 can expect their school weeks to get a little shorter. The school board voted earlier this month to have students go from a 5-day schedule down to only 4 days each week. The district superintendent, Dr. Ray Streeter, says the decision came after a lengthy process of research and weighing the pros and cons of such a decision. He says he believes this is the best step to keep teachers and students more engaged and energized during the school year.
So our kids are going to get more daily instruction on math, reading, social studies, etc. So that's already been done for us. Our schedule's built. Professional development with the admin team has kind of been figured out already. So right now it's just a process of wait, and there's excitement because I think it's going to be a really good thing for our district.
One group this decision does affect is bus drivers, but Dr. Streeter says most bus drivers also work as custodians and that there will still be an opportunity for those drivers to obtain hours during the school's off days. Missouri opened the start of the candidate filing period yesterday in Jefferson City. A total of 435 candidates filed for various offices to get their name on the ballot for the August 6th primary election. Candidates for U.S. and state offices, along with some judges, are required to file in person with the Secretary of State's office in Jeff City. Candidate filing will continue until the March 26th deadline. The Show Me State will also hold the GOP caucus across the state this Saturday. For Missouri residents in our area and members of the Grand Old Party, there will be caucus sites in 5 counties: Vernon, Barton, Jasper, Newton, and McDonald. For specific times and locations, head on over to our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. Jasper County is among the most vulnerable in a study that highlights the risk of destruction from tornadoes. The county ranked 48th among 950 counties for risk of damage or loss of life. The 2024's most vulnerable counties for tornado damage study was conducted by Roof Gnome, an online site covering the roofing and solar panel industry. They compared counties with a relatively moderate to very high tornado risk according to the Federal Emergency Management Agency. More specifically, they looked at tornado risk and expected annual loss from tornadoes, a loss familiar to some 4-state residents.
I think that we look at things differently. Definitely storms. We take more notice of the storms. And my profession, being an insurance advisor, I want to make sure that all my close friends and family and anybody that I come across, clients, are fully covered.
9 Missouri and 7 Kansas counties finished among the 100 most vulnerable counties for tornado damage due to high tornado incidents and financial risk. In the 4-state area, only Jasper is in the top 100. To learn where the other counties in the 4 states are ranked, go to our website at KOAMnewsnow.com. Well, that's a look at this morning's top stories and weather in our first 7 minutes, coming up on the KOAM Morning News. Pitt State men's basketball faces against Emporia State, hoping to stay tied for 3rd in the MIAA. We'll have the details. Plus, Pope Francis is back at the Vatican after a brief hospital visit. We have the latest. And we have a warmer and mostly cloudy day today. We'll have what to expect with Chris Warner in the Skywatch Weather Center. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back.
At Wheel of Fortune. Oh, don't do this. Don't do this. Last, so order now.
You're going to love it. I guarantee it.
Call 1-800-311-3010. That's 1-800-311-3010.
Well, Pittsburgh State and Missouri Southern basketball are just a week away from the 2024 MIAA tournament. The Lions and Gorillas played their penultimate home games of the season last night. We're going to start with Pitt State women's basketball. The Gorillas beat Emporia State 72-56. Jenna Shipley leads the way for PSU. She scores a career-high 21 points on a 9 of 11 shooting display. The Gorillas are back at it for Senior Day on Saturday against 19th-ranked Missouri Western. Pitt State men's basketball at home against Emporia State, hoping to stay tied for third in the MIAA. So early in the first half, Jeremy Shaw glides to the basket, scores the right-handed layup. He'd finish the night with 16 points. A little later, R.J. Forney finds Marquis English for a pick and pop three. That's good. Gorillas up by 5, but Emporia State beat PSU in their first matchup and would not go away all night. Cale McGee attacks the right alley and scores off the glass to cut the lead to 2. Next possession, McGee again. This time he ties the game. So late in the first half, Max Alexander finds Tanner Manns open in the near corner from 3. He drills it, and Pitt State stretches its lead back to 6. This one would stay close for the whole game, but the Gorillas pull it out at home. They win 79-76 for their third victory in a row. Missouri Southern at home as the Lions host Washburn. Early in the first, Ryan Franklin is working down low, and that jumper is good. Southern leads by 3. A few possessions later, really nice pass from Mira Khan to Ryan Franklin for the easy bucket. She scored 18 points last night for the Lions. In the second quarter, Chrislyn Jones finds herself all alone in transition, and she knocks down the three-point shot. Closing seconds of the first half, Washburn tries to beat the buzzer, but Caitlin Honeycutt is there to deny the bucket. She gets a huge block. Southern leads by 13 at the half. Opening play of the second. Honeycutt showing off her offensive skills now. She drains the 3. Southern now leading by 16. And a little later in the second half, Chrislyn Jones continues to get open as she buries another 3. She led the Lions with 19 points last night. Missouri Southern bounces back after a loss. Lions get their 20th win of the season, 66-51. The Missouri Southern men's basketball team back at home last night. Lions facing Washburn. We're going to go early in the game. Darius Dawson gets a really tough shot to go in to give the Lions an early lead, but Washburn was not afraid to shoot the ball last night. Sam Ungashik buries that three-pointer. Washburn up by 6, but Southern kept up with them all night. Vincent Sigmund Jr. is open in the corner and puts that three-pointer in. A few possessions later, Darius Dawson is going to show off his range. Buries that 3. He had 12 points for Southern last night, but Washburn had plenty of answers. Michael Keegan going to hit a 3 from beyond the arc. Southern keeps it close, but Washburn wins the game 77-72. 7-seed Webb City girls basketball in the quarterfinals of the district tournament against 2-seed West Plains. First quarter, the Zizzers start fast. Zoe Scharnhorst gets it. Nails the three-point floater. Zizzers lead by 7. Addie Burns looking to tighten it from the top of the key. She goes off the glass for 3. Cardinals now down by 1. But the Zizzers stay aggressive. Scharnhorst again from the same spot. Make that another 3 points. West Plains leads by 6 at halftime. It gets ugly after that. Zoe Shrub now getting involved. She sinks another 3 for West Plains. Cards down 14. Kira Long bounces it to Addie Burns, and she gets the bucket and the foul, but that won't be enough for the Lady Cardinals. Webb City's season comes to an end in the district quarterfinals, 57-34. In that same district tournament, tie game late in the fourth quarter of the district quarterfinal between Mack County and Carl Junction. Lady Bulldogs get possession last, and Jaden Howard hits the buzzer beater to give CJ the win. Lady Bulldogs survive and advance. They'll play in semifinals Friday night at 6. Still to come, we're going to learn why people age 65 and older should get an additional dose of the current COVID-19 vaccine. Plus, told you that cold spell isn't going to last long. Well, another look at that forecast when we come back.
Deep forest, majestic mountains, glittering waters.
Tickets on sale now for Vita Nova Village's Mom Prom, March 9th.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. It is now 5:19 on this Thursday morning. It is another cold start to the day out there, a little below average, but I've got good news. It's going to start to get a little bit warmer. This is our Camera Cornell Complex, downtown Joplin. Got a bit of a breeze out there, looking pretty good across the area, but again, chilly for sure. MoDOT camera 32nd in range line, looking back to the west. Looks pretty nice here, but you can see if you look close enough, the traffic light there bouncing a little bit in that wind, so not extreme, but it is there. We do have red flag warnings until 9 and until 8, so through this evening for our far northern counties. The thing is it's not necessarily overly gusty winds that are the concern, because we're looking at 20, maybe 25 mile an hour wind gusts tops out there. It's the fact that the humidity levels through most of the day are going to be extremely low. We're talking very dry conditions. Now, it's a little more up there now, but as we head through the day, it's going to fall, and it won't pick back up again until tonight. 27 in Joplin, feeling like 19 with a south-southeast breeze at about 7 miles an hour. Again, temperatures around the region, now we're all in the 20s. Most of us in the low to mid-20s, some upper 20s out there, and Neodesha has jumped on the bandwagon and gone up 1 degree from earlier. Because the winds aren't too terrible, the wind chills aren't as bad as they were yesterday. Remember, they were in the single digits. I get some upper teens and low to mid 20s out there, so it still feels cold. You still want to bundle up, but it's not nearly as cold as it was yesterday morning at this time. Now today, it's going to be mostly cloudy. That southerly breeze is going to usher in warmer air, so we're going to be closer to average out there, going in the low 50s. And then as humidity levels increase much later this evening, we're going to start to see the opportunity for some showers out there. And these showers will be scattered across the region. Not everybody will see something, but there will be a few out there. Now, as temperatures fall, Future Track didn't show it on this particular go-around, but there will be that possibility for maybe a brief rain-snow mix out there, but no snow accumulations are expected out of any of this. And then our Friday, the clouds will eventually clear out as we head into the afternoon, and we are going to be a little bit warmer. 45 by 11 o'clock this morning, mostly cloudy. Again, today, highs into the low to mid 50s. And we're talking mostly cloudy skies, south breeze again gusting occasionally to 20. We'll have some showers start building in late, and then again, maybe a brief rain-snow mix as we fall back into the low 30s. We're going to be even warmer for our Friday, still breezy though, 60. Again, climbing into the upper 70s this weekend. Maybe an evening shower or thunderstorm on Sunday. A few more showers, maybe a couple of thunderstorms Monday morning. That system cools us down briefly into the 60s. And we go right back into the 70s with a few more rain chances by the middle of next week. And that is a check of your forecast. We will be back with Health Watch right after this.
Meteorologist Lindsay Now app today. Your gateway to news your way. Powered by KOAM News Now.
Topping Health Watch this morning. Indiana's ban on transition care for minors is in effect. This comes after an appeals court in the state issued a stay on the ruling from a district court Tuesday that blocked parts of the law last year. The legislation, called SEA 480, prohibits doctors from performing gender-based treatments on young boys and girls, including hormone therapy and puberty-blocking drugs. Republican Governor Eric Holcomb signed the measure in April 2023, and shortly after that, the ACLU sued to stop the law. Officials with the ACLU issued a statement on the appeals court's ruling, calling it, quote, beyond disappointing. People age 65 and older should get an additional dose of the current COVID-19 vaccine. That decision came Wednesday from independent advisors to the CDC. The CDC director must sign off on the advisory committee's recommendation to make it final. While the current vaccine is considered highly effective, protection does wane over time, and that protection fades quicker in older people. The CDC says most COVID-19 deaths occur in people older than 65. Under the new recommendation, people of that age and older could receive an additional dose of any updated COVID-19 vaccine at least 4 months after the previous dose of the newest vaccine. The Food and Drug Administration says certain types of forever chemicals will no longer be used in the U.S. food packaging. Wednesday, the FDA announced materials like fast food wrappers, microwave popcorn bags, and pizza boxes were a major source of exposure to certain types of PFAS. The hormone distributing chemical has been linked to a variety of health effects, including certain cancers. In 2011, the chemical stopped being sold in the U.S. due to safety concerns. The FDA estimates it could take another 18 months after the products containing the substances are phased out. So far, 12 states have moved to ban or phase out PFAS in food packaging. It's often linked to great achievements, awards, and accolades, but when a person struggles with a personality trait called perfectionism, it can have a dangerous impact on their mental health and even future successes. Mandy Gaither has more on the negative effects of trying to be perfect and how parents can help their children avoid perfectionism.
It can lead to great success, but also a fear of failure. Perfectionism is defined as a personality trait when a person sets unreasonably high standards and has unrealistic expectations for themselves. It's often coupled with intense self-criticism.
It really drives us into a place of constantly pushing to the point of extreme stress and overwhelm and burnout.
Licensed psychotherapist Jody Baumstein with Children's Healthcare of Atlanta's Strong for Life program says children and teens need to hear that nobody is perfect and there's no expectation for them to be either. But she says parents need to remember the same.
So if we make a mistake, we can't be overly critical and beating ourselves up. We need to respond with patience and compassion and teach them how to work through a mistake.
Parents can also help by focusing on a child's effort, not the outcome.
So they bring home their report card with all A's, and what do we say? We praise them for getting all A's. But now they're focused just on the outcome. So instead what we want to do is actually focus on effort. I'm proud of how hard you worked this year.
Finally, Baumstein says for parents to talk about the difference between I failed and I'm a failure.
So when they think I failed, well, then they're motivated. They see that this is a moment in time. It's temporary. It's something everybody experiences. And there's something they can do better next time.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
If your child already struggles with perfectionism and is having trouble with intense self-criticism, Baumstein says to help them see themselves positively by asking what they'd say to a friend. She says a lot of times it's easier for us to be kind, compassionate, and patient to others rather than to ourselves. That's a look at some of today's top health stories. You're watching the KOAM Morning News.
And we've got ourselves another cold start to the day, but it will eventually warm up a bit. We'll have a look at that forecast when we come back.
Escape. Take the 1-minute pre-diabetes risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org. Be your own hero.
Right now at 5:30, the Downtown Joplin Alliance hosts an event to help create more productive volunteers.
And another cold start across the area. Warmer weather, though, on the way. We'll take a look at that forecast. Get you out the door coming up.
Plus, young entrepreneurs from across Southeast Kansas took part in a business competition in Pittsburgh.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 5:32. I'm Elise Noe.
I'm Chris Warner. So it's a leap day, a leap year. So we have leaped ahead, and welcome Elise to the morning show early. So welcome.
Thank you. It's a bonus day.
Oh, it's like a great day to start because
absolutely.
It's difficult to mark it as an anniversary.
That's
each
true.
year after that. So you can't say next year, you can't celebrate your first day on the morning show.
That is a really good point. I haven't even thought about that this morning yet.
We decided to shake things up. So Elise joining us on the morning show, joining us on a leap day, which if you recall our story from before, it's because the Earth actually takes 365 days and 6 hours to complete a year. And every 4 years that adds up to a day. And if we didn't do this like 100 years from now, the seasons would be out of place. On the calendar.
How crazy is that? I think it's crazy.
We created time. Time is a thing we made up.
That's true.
That's why the Earth
That's
takes
true.
365 days and 6 hours. It does its own thing. And Mother Nature does her own thing too on occasion. And so she's throwing us some warmer temperatures and breezier conditions. Let's take a quick look outside. This is the MoDOT camera at 32nd. Oh my. I've got to move that because that's going to get really loud the more there we go. All right, we've got that taken care of. It is looking pretty good. It is a bit on the chilly side out there, though, a little below average. 20s across the board, 30 in Bentonville right now, so not bad. Kids getting on the bus, cold, bundle up, 28. South breeze at about 5 to 10, mostly cloudy skies out there. 53. When they get home, south breeze though picking up a bit, 5 to 15, occasional gust to 20. Our far northern counties, there are red flag warnings, but really don't recommend outdoor burning anywhere because humidity levels are going to drop and be very low through the day. Mostly cloudy. Average temperatures, low 50s out there. And we are going to see some rain chances, maybe even a brief rain-snow mix, and even warmer weather is on the way. We will look at all of that in the complete forecast here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, thanks, Chris. Well, young entrepreneurs from across Southeast Kansas took part in a business competition yesterday in Pittsburgh. The Youth Initiative event hosted by the Economic Development and Community Engagement Division of Pitt State focused on such areas as business presentation and a trade show competition. For event officials, providing competitors with business skills is something they can use in their very near future.
I think it's beneficial for them to learn a little bit about just business in general. Regardless of what type of job you go into, it's always nice to have some business background, even in your own personal finances. So I would say having a little bit of entrepreneurship and being able to put this competition on is super beneficial for these kids.
Members of the public could drop by the event and judge the trade show. Westside Elementary kicks off its Feet First for Westside Fund yesterday. The campaign provides many students who may not have a new pair of shoes with a brand new pair. Organizers got just as excited about the fundraiser as the kids.
We love when donors approach us with these ideas and we can make them happen. What a great benefit for the kids and the students at Westside Elementary School that everybody should have a quality pair of shoes. So we can't thank the donor enough. We can't thank Kelsey and Westside School for working with us on this. And again, that's the goal, is that every student there who needs a pair of shoes is going to have that available.
The fund, administered through the Community Foundation of Southeast Kansas, hopes to ensure that every student can jump feet first into learning with a new pair of shoes. Volunteering can be a great way to support your community, and the Downtown Joplin Alliance is trying to make it easier than ever to decide how you want to help. The group today hosted its Volunteer Expo. Residents were able to learn about the different activities the Alliance hosts to benefit the area. That includes cleaning teams, helping with endangered properties, organizing events like Third Thursday, and much more.
I feel like Joplin's kind of that perfect size right now where individuals who volunteer, who get involved, can have a real tangible impact and outcome on their community. So anyone who likes to see the results of the work they put in, this organization's a great way to do that.
Current volunteers were encouraged to bring a friend to the expo to show them all the ways they can be involved. Missouri Southern yesterday opened the doors on the 10th annual Dress to Impress event. The event features donations of gently used men's and women's professional clothing for students to start or expand their professional wardrobe. The event is in preparation for the upcoming spring career fair and for many students, the beginning of their careers.
I'm an elementary education major, so what I'm doing is building a wardrobe up for teaching. Someone could be building a wardrobe up because they're a business major and they need clothing for everyday wear to work. And so you have to start early because you can obviously do it in a short amount of time, especially as a college student. Your funds are maybe not as grand as it would be if you were working like full-time somewhere. So this is
Plenty of volunteers also helped students out with mentoring and coaching. Well, that's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. A water shortage strikes Mexico City due to an ongoing drought across the country. Plus, President Biden and his team are going on the offensive against Republicans over the border crisis. We'll have the latest. You're watching the KOAM Morning News.
.com and the law offices of Aaron Sachs and Associates, committed to community service.
Topping World Watch. Pope Francis is back at the Vatican after a brief hospital visit. The 87-year-old pontiff has been suffering from the flu and went to a hospital in central Rome after appearing for his papal audience on Wednesday. Pope Francis has appeared ill during recent appearances and has canceled some appointments. The Vatican says he went to the hospital for a medical checkup. The Pope, who currently uses a wheelchair and cane, had part of one lung removed after a respiratory infection as a young man. He also had part of his colon removed in 2021 after intestinal inflammation. Israel says it struck Hezbollah military targets in Lebanon, including a launcher the Israeli military claims was used to fire into northern Israel. Hamas has also fired rockets into northern Israel in apparent retaliation for the killing of one of its top leaders during a January airstrike in Beirut. Israeli Defense Forces says it's intercepted a number of launchers and struck an arsenal used by Hezbollah. It's not clear if this recent strike claimed any lives on either side. Deadly floods striking Bolivia this week. 40 people are dead and more than 500 forced from their homes in the Amazonic region. This coming after the Arc River overflowed, covering houses and leaving residents scrambling to salvage their belongings. Rainfall in the country is at its largest levels in decades, with experts estimating the heavy rains will continue through March. A water shortage strikes Mexico City. The shortage is said to be due to an ongoing drought across the country that has been drying up the capital's reservoirs. Residents forced to wait long periods for water deliveries amid strict rationing policies. Officials say El Nino weather patterns and heat waves have thrown off rain patterns. Drought conditions in the country have also reportedly intensified over the past 4 years. President Biden and his team going on the offensive against Republicans over the border crisis, and again, anyone else who is disparaging his age and competence. The president's doctor says he is fit to serve. White House correspondent Jackie Heinrich has the story.
According to his doctor, the president, quote, continues to be fit for duty and fully executes all of his responsibilities without any exemptions or accommodations. A positive readout for the 81-year-old who was portrayed as suffering mental decline by the special counsel who investigated his handling of classified documents. But Biden did not seize the chance to shut down voter concerns about his age by undergoing a cognitive exam. According to the White House, his doctors don't think he needs one.
Folks need to understand that the president passes, again, a cognitive test every day. He is able to do the work every day that is rigorous, that is more rigorous than it would be for any 15-minute clinical appointment.
Tomorrow, Biden will travel to the border, a trip he resisted for his first 2 years in office, but is seizing on now to make hay of Republicans rejecting the bipartisan Senate bill that was endorsed by the Border Patrol Union.
We believe we're on the offense because we did the work with the Senate in a bipartisan way for 4 months. And Republicans rejected it. They allowed politics to get in the way.
But the sector Biden's visiting is among the slowest for illegal crossings, averaging only 17 a day for the month of February, according to CBP. Officials here say that doesn't matter.
This administration has often criticized Republicans when they go to the border and hold similar press conferences as saying that they're doing publicity stunts and photo ops. So how is this any different?
Oh, it's very different. What House Republicans have done is nothing. Absolutely nothing. If anything, they consistently get in the way.
Biden's not expected to issue any executive orders while he's in Texas. His critics have called for him to reinstate Trump-era policies that he rescinded when he came into office. For now, Biden's just taking the opportunity to redirect heat to the GOP on immigration. But there is one big shift we can report. The White House is calling for sanctuary cities to cooperate with ICE amid furor over crimes committed by migrants. As a candidate in 2020, Biden said that police locally should not have to cooperate with federal law enforcement officials to turn over migrants who are arrested.
That's a look at some of your biggest headlines from around the world. We'll be right back.
Now we return to Remodel, Remix.
With stores in Brazelton and Independence, Kansas, and Joplin and Butler, Missouri.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News, 547 now on this Thursday morning. We do have red flag warnings in our far northern counties through 8 and 9 p.m. tonight. And that's because not so much we're expecting super gusty winds. We're looking out of the south about 20 to 25, but humidity levels are going to drop from anywhere from 5 to 20% out there. So very dry. And that's going to be the case across the entire area. So we honestly do not recommend any outdoor burning, period. 27 in Joplin right now, feeling like 19 with a south-southeast breeze at 7. So it is a bit on the cold side again, a little below normal out there. But we're better than where we were yesterday by a long shot. We're about 5-6 degrees warmer, but our wind chills are better. We'll take a look at those in a moment. Everybody in the 20s, we're anywhere from 20 degrees upwards of 30 degrees in Bentonville. So we've got a good spread of temperatures this morning. Wind chills, again, they're better. They're not the single digits. Remember, those were everywhere yesterday. We've got upper teens, low to mid 20s for those wind chills. So you still want to bundle up. You still want to make sure you're prepared. But again, at least it is not as cold as it was yesterday. Clouds will continue to build in across the area today with those southerly winds, so we're going to be mostly cloudy. Temperatures about average as we go in the low 50s, and then by later this evening, initially in our southern counties, and then eventually chances around the area, we'll have some scattered showers out there. Now, as temperatures fall this evening, depending on how quickly the precipitation moves out, some of us could see a very brief transition to maybe a rain-snow mix out there. No accumulations expected, nothing major expected at all from it, but do be prepared for that possibility. Getting our morning started, again, mostly cloudy skies, 45 by 11 o'clock, whereas yesterday we were only making 30, so we're doing a bit better. Low 50s out there, mostly cloudy skies for us. Heading into tonight, again, we have those showers that'll start building in later this evening, and we'll eventually fall back into the low 30s out there. Looking ahead, though, warmer temperatures continue to roll in. 60 tomorrow, upper 70s heading into the weekend. Maybe some evening thunderstorm chances Sunday into early Monday morning. With another system, this one doesn't hit us as hard, but it will knock our temperatures down a bit into the low to mid 60s. Doesn't last long. Back to low 70s. More rain chances Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and by next weekend, not looking bad. 63, partly cloudy skies. So I told you this cold spell wouldn't last very long, and it certainly is not. Let's check your forecast. We've got more of the KOAM Morning News right after this.
In our community. Visit our Facebook page to learn more.
The answers to some math equations are the limit does not exist. And for a Tulsa High School Math League team ranked #1 worldwide, that's accurate. As Scott Martin reports, the students have a real passion for problem solving.
There's one common denominator with this group of 15 students who are part of Dove Science High School's Math League team. They all have a passion for problem solving.
Solving a problem just makes me feel like just into the problem. Like finally figuring out the last step into the problem. That's why I joined Math League, because it was like really tricky problems. And you're like, oh man, I'm so close. But you know, just figuring out that last step and you're like, oh, that's the answer. And you're like, you put it in and you're like, yeah, that's 100% it. You know, that's the best feeling in the world to me.
A recent math competition put their knowledge to the test. The team is one of 2 ranked #1 worldwide, putting their school and Tulsa in an international spotlight.
I didn't even realize we were doing that good. We were just trying our best, you know, just a small school from Oklahoma, just trying our best. And then to figure out we're #1 in the United States, so a tie with someone in California, that's an absurd feeling to feel about just doing what we do every single week.
They spend hours working practice problems to train for the competitions. Their teacher lets them know if they got the answer right or wrong.
Okay, I was close. Yeah, it's very close. So try again.
Well, the math competitions, you're under pressure and you're just thinking it all through. But in the end, when you get it right, it's just the best feeling ever.
The team's algorithm is pretty good too. They've been a top scoring team in the state and the nation for 2 years in a row.
It's really rewarding for me knowing all my hard work and dedication to this club and this competition's it's really paid off for me.
Using formulas and plugging in numbers here and there, they know they're going to get a single answer. But the team says they're learning so much more than the answer they come up with.
I was not really a big fan of math. I just love the experience of like solving the hard math questions. It like develops my critical thinking skills.
The team hopes their global recognition helps get others interested in math and show how it can be fun.
The team has an invitation to participate in the global round of the Copernicus Mathematic Olympiad in July in New York. We'll be right back.
This right here is confidence in a bottle. It makes me feel so much more confident.
Meteorologist Lindsay Gaffney, welcome to KOAM News Now.
Well, if you're looking at your calendar wondering why it's still February, it's because 2024 is a leap year. Our calendar has 365 days, but it actually takes 365.25 days for the Earth to orbit the Sun. In 46 BC, Julius Caesar began the practice of adding an extra day for every 4 years to fix the discrepancy, but it resulted in 10 extra days by 1582. That's when Pope Gregory XIII created a new calendar with February 29th as the official leap day. It established an extra day in every year divisible by 4, but only in century years that are evenly divided by 400. If that's too confusing, just remember in the U.S., leap year coincides with presidential elections. We'll take some time to bite into a crunchy piece of toast. The last Thursday in February is National Toast Day. Toast originated in ancient Egypt to make stale bread taste better and last longer. Today it's eaten around the world with various toppings. In the UK, people top it with beans. Southeast Asians might add coconut jam, with some Australians that love it with Vegemite. Whether you go simple with butter or top it with meat and cheese, grab some bread and a toaster and take a bite.
Now I know what the men at work were singing about in their song Down Under with a Vegemite sandwich. Now I know what it's a thing. Now I know it involves toast. Our forecast will not make you too toasty today, but it will be warmer as we go right around 45 by 11 o'clock this morning. It'll be mostly cloudy out there, and we'll have the south winds occasionally gusting 20, possibly 25 miles an hour. But combine that with very low humidity levels, you don't want to do any outdoor burning. We do have some red flag warnings in our far northern counties. Mostly cloudy today, highs about average as we go right into the low 50s out there. Later this evening, the humidity levels will pick up. We'll start to see a few rain showers out there. They'll be scattered. Not everyone will see rain. And as temperatures fall, some of you could see that briefly transition to a rain-snow mix, but no accumulations expected. Warmer tomorrow, 60, even warmer by the weekend. That's when it gets toasty. Into the 70s, upper 70s. Some evening thunderstorms Sunday into early Monday, bring us back down into the 60s. More rain next week, temperatures in the 70s. That's Check Your Forecast. We're back with more after this.
Don't drink and drive.